Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. This is a podcast about the strange and unusual, the secret and conspiracies, the fringe and supernatural. This is a show where we do little to no research on our topics. We are not professionals in any field except speculation. This is the Secret Transmission Podcast. I am your host, Toby. Everyone else, introduce yourselves.
I'm Kristen.
I'm Evan.
I'm Tina.
And this is episode 6. We're going to talk about time travel.
This is where I come in at the beginning, and it's little or no research. Highly speculating.
Very little.
Okay, so, well, what do you know about time travel? Like, what?
Yeah, Evan.
Yeah, Evan, what do you know about time travel?
Throw me out there.
I'm trying to.
Okay.
What is time travel?
You just travel back in time. You just travel back in time and explore things.
Time travel is where a person from the present travels to the past or the future.
Correct. It is the travel from a point in time to either a past or future point in time.
Probably one that you don't want to go to.
Often in a DeLorean.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to go in a DeLorean. That's the only way to time
Back to
travel.
the future.
Flux capacitors, DeLoreans.
Come on now.
McFly, hello.
So we're probably going to make lots of movie reference time travel jokes, huh? Let's go ahead. What are time travel movies that you know of? Back to the Future. All 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I just named it in your ear.
Did you?
The biggest hint in the
Come
world,
on.
Well,
sir.
name another one.
Yeah, let's see. What can y'all name?
Tina, name
Name one other time travel movie.
one. At least one.
What's
We're
the
gonna be
one
good.
where...
Do you got one?
Hot Tub Time Machine.
Oh,
that's a good one.
Nice!
Boom. Blew
What's
that
the one
up.
where they go back to the dinosaur age? Is it like Lost World or something? I made it up.
Donnie Darko.
Donnie Darko. There you go.
Nice.
S. Darko.
Well, that's an awful sequel, but
I just want to throw it out there like I knew another one.
I don't know. The one where they go and they stay with the dinosaurs.
The Lost. I think it was
I
Will
know what you're talking
Ferrell.
about.
Land
No,
Before Time.
I didn't see
Not
that
Will
one.
Ferrell. It's the guy from Encino Man. It's the Encino Man himself, and it's
That's kind of a time travel
Margarita.
movie.
it's
What is his name?
Okay, you want me to tell y'all some?
Yeah, tell me.
There is the Terminator.
Ooh.
Looper.
Looper's a good one.
What is
I think
Looper?
I had that on my little list.
Have you not seen Looper?
No,
It's
on
alright.
Netflix.
It's got
Movie.
Bruce Willis in it. Oh,
That's one Bruce Willis.
okay.
I wanted to see
no,
it.
No. What,
12 Monkeys.
12 Monkeys.
12
Thank
Monkeys.
you.
For all the ladies out there, Time Traveler's Wife.
I have that on there.
I cry every time.
Yep, see right there.
Oh, well.
The Butterfly Effect.
Butterfly effect.
American Dad actually does the DeLorean episode where him and Steve, which is his son, go on a time travel little episode thing to try to find a door for his DeLorean. It's the last piece to his thing. He's like, it's real secretive, and he's like going to a storage building, and all his family follows him, like, what's going on? He pulls it open, and Steve goes, you have a DeLorean? And he's like, yeah, I have a DeLorean. Like,
Of course I would.
duh. So Back to the Future is a time traveling movie.
X-Men: Days of Future Past. That's a recent one. And
Nerd.
hey.
Nerd alert.
The Time Machine. Did you ever see that movie? It's really gnarly.
Yeah, it's old. Old school. He gets in this big round thing and it starts spinning really fast and it
Who's in
spins
it?
him back in town.
I couldn't tell you who's in it.
It's like an
Haven't seen
off-brand old school movie.
It's from like 2000.
I can't believe that me and him even did that one together.
Groundhog Day.
Oh.
I don't.
I think it's time travel.
The one we watched recently. The Touching Hands movie.
Oh, Southland Tales.
Southland Tales, yeah.
We're such losers.
Time Crimes.
We have no lives.
Time
We know
Crimes.
all kinds of
Did
movies.
remember Time Crimes?
Time Crimes.
What's that?
Planet of the Apes.
That Justin Timberlake movie.
Is Unbreakable one?
That's Southland Tales.
Nah, he's got a...
It is South.
Oh, the time on the arm.
Oh, that's Out of Time. That's like...
Stop time. Out of time. Time.
He's selling time. Like, that's their currency.
Sell
in that
time.
movie.
Yeah, that's not time travel.
That's not time travel.
No.
He's living off of it.
Okay. Scratch that.
Okay.
Oh, is that one movie with Jared Leto? Is that considered a time travel movie? Where his mom is sitting in there and time's going by really slow and fast, and she's watching the game show.
No, that's Requiem for a Dream. She's on drugs.
Ooh, I love
Maybe I was
Requiem
time
for a
traveling.
Dream. All she wants
Watching
to do
it.
is wear the red dress.
She wants to wear the red dress.
I just want to wear the red dress.
Sarah Goldfarb.
Ooh,
Isn't that her
Sarah
name?
Goldfarb.
Sorry,
Fear
off
Before
topic.
made it up.
Yeah.
Made that song after it.
Okay, so there's different types of time travel. You can travel to the future, which some of the rules for some like time travel is...
Oh, shoot. I said earlier, Encino Man. That's time traveling.
That's what I said.
How's that time
I
travel?
didn't know you even
What does
said
he
that.
do?
I'm sorry.
He's frozen.
He's frozen, and he
frozen
goes
in time.
he goes to the future.
Okay.
That's kind of what I'm getting at. Like some types of time travel are, if you go into the future, you can only travel forward in time, but you can't go backwards. Then there's also the forward and back. Like you can go forward and you can go back to the time that you were in.
TV show Futurama.
Futurama, yeah, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Can't believe I didn't see that. Doctor Who? Done any time travel? I don't know. I don't watch
No.
Doctor Who.
I don't
I don't
know.
watch Doctor
Oh,
Who.
okay. I'm sorry.
Give me
Is
a
it-
pass
Take
on
that
that
back.
one.
We don't know. We don't know.
Yeah,
Nobody
we'll
here
just
watches
assume.
that show.
We'll just assume.
Doctor Who.
Doctor
time
Who.
travel. What'd you say?
Journey to the Center of the Earth.
don't
Journey
think
to the
that's time
center of the
travel.
earth.
I haven't seen it.
I don't think that's time
I
travel.
thought that's the movie you're trying to figure out.
Oh, no.
What was that?
I forgot now. It's about dinosaurs. They go in
Land Before Time.
No, that's dinosaurs living with dinosaurs. I'm talking about people going and living with dinosaurs.
Journey to the Center of the Earth?
Maybe. That might be it.
That's it.
Who's that have in it?
Will Ferrell.
No, that's what I just said. Well, I said in a more upbeat tone, so I was like, yeah, that's it.
No, I thought she was talking about the core. That's why I was completely... Where they drill to the core of the earth. I was like, no, that's not time
That's
travel.
a terrible
That's an
premise
awful
for a
movie.
movie. Hey, we're here. There's lava everywhere. Great.
They're trying to save the world. It's about to blow up or something. I don't...
Looney
Joe.
Tunes Back in Time.
Okay, stop.
Don't read about
We're done with that. We're not going to have a 30-minute podcast of us just naming movies that have time travel.
7. Fight Club.
Yeah. Now we're just
You're
naming...
just guessing.
No, it has to be on
You want to
there.
know what my favorite movie is, though?
It has to be on there
Nothing
when
to
I was
do.
looking at Journey to the Center of the Earth, and all of a sudden I thought Looney Tunes, and I was like, that's time travel. Smart idiot.
So there's backwards time travel too. That means there's different rules. There's the can't go back to your own time because the timeline is destroyed and you just exist because you've traveled back in time. Then there's you cause a new timeline that will differ from the one that the traveler is from. And they can return to their timeline with nothing changed. Then there's you can cause the butterfly effect. So if you go back in time and change something, when you go back to the future, everything is changed, but you still have the memory of the original timeline. So there's different rules to how different people interpret time travel. Does that make sense?
I think that last one's the most
Common one.
common one. Like, for me, that's what I think of when I think of time travel. If you go back and you touch something, that's going to create
Right. If you
a shitstorm of...
Right.
if you cause one thing to be different and out of place, it causes a completely different future. Is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The butterflies, they always have the most
That's-
effect.
Well, that's what I think. That's what the
Tsunamis,
the butterfly effect is like. What is it?
changing of the wings.
Well, it's if a butterfly flaps his wings, it could cause a tsunami
On the other side, yeah.
because of. But if that butterfly is not there, then nothing will happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. It's something weird like that. Some of the ways to time travel, you have to move faster than speed of light, which I believe is 88 miles per hour.
The speed of light?
is 88 miles per hour.
Are you sure? Because we got that in the car.
That's Back to the Future.
Come
on now.
It's slow.
They're like 88 miles an
Yeah,
hour.
you have to go 88 miles an hour.
That's true, because in that episode,
Don't
they're
look it up. He's
why
being
would you choose
facetious.
The DeLorean? It's not that. It's not
He's
that
gonna have to
fast.
look it up.
I can't even put in the right password
Are you looking
anyways.
Are you looking up the speed of light?
I'm trying to, but if I could remember
You just
the
hit
password.
delete. There you go. Is 88 miles an hour the speed of light?
Another way of time travel is black holes. Another one is cosmic strings, which there was so much information on cosmic strings that I couldn't decipher it all, and I'm not smart enough to decipher it all. Then there's wormholes.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a difference between wormholes and black holes, I think, but they're pretty much the same.
So mine
Yeah.
says speed of light is 671 million miles per hour.
That's kind of crazy.
No,
Yeah.
that's kind of more on track and legit than 88 miles per hour.
I got 299, 792,458.
92,458 per second.
580? What is 580?
Woo! 58 meters per second.
I just thought, damn, that's pretty light.
I watched
for
this
some
documentary on the Discovery Channel with, what's that man's name who has that really fantastic voice?
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman.
speed. Blow your mind.
I was just guessing.
He's got a great voice.
He does. He's awesome.
And it was, I think it's called like Into the Wormhole. And it was telling you like what they suspect is in a wormhole and the differences between black holes. And they were pretty similar.
Are they?
Yeah. But I think with black holes, it's like, do you die? Do you disintegrate? Do you turn into particles? With wormholes, it's like it takes you from one spot to another in a matter of
Like the Willy
seconds.
Wonka chocolate bar.
Yeah.
Particles.
The TV. Yeah. You're like,
Well, there's a bunch of different theories. Like I explained that there's different rules to different methods of time travel, or what can be believed as different rules. There's a ton of different paradoxes that way more intelligent people than us have come up with. That the reason that there can be time travel or that there can't be time travel. There's the Novikov self. I don't know. Hold on. I think it was the Novikov self-consistency principle. This theory says that anything a time traveler does in the past must have been part of history all along. Like if I traveled to the past to kill my family with a gun, so I was never born, the gun would jam, and that would be a constant loop on how it happened. So that theory is I'm always supposed to travel back into time. But when I do, to do whatever I'm, like if I hated life and I'm going to kill myself or kill my parents, my gun would jam because I can't.
you're not going to be able to actually change it.
Because I have to be born. And that event I have to be born so I can time travel to do that, to try to kill myself and realize that I can't. So that's a constant, and it's just a constant loop now. Kind of like 12 Monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert.
Bruce Willis.
Brad Pitt.
Okay, I'm gonna IMDb that shit.
Then there's the multiple universes theory. There are...
I love that. I don't know what it is. I don't know what you're about to say, but it sounds fantastic. I love thinking that there's multiple universes.
Like,
and there's like another one of me somewhere at the age of 3 making bologna sandwiches.
Pride.
well, there's an infinite number of universes. This is known as the multiverse. If you travel back in time, you would create a new universe. So every time you travel back in time, you're not actually on your timeline. You are creating a brand new one because in your original timeline, you haven't gone back in time yet. Or you haven't gone back in time to see yourself.
Okay.
So if you went back in time to see yourself, you would actually be in a new timeline to where you see yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So that would change everything. I don't know if you can go back to your timeline, but I would assume so.
Mine would be a continuous loop of me playing with A, Barbie dolls in a Barbie house, or B, Fisher Price food, and I had me a slamming ass kitchen going on like I was in a gourmet restaurant. Had that shit all down, locked down.
Burgers, all right.
Ah, I wish.
The branching universe theory. This would be that the traveler influences the people of that time to make a different choice than they were supposed to. That only creates a new, different future. So that would be like me going back and saying, don't go do this war, to create a whole new future. There's a timeline corruption. This is the butterfly effect. If you make any change, the timeline is different. Every minute would make history different. So every minute that you're in the past, like if you walk out in front of a car, you time travel, you walk out in front of a car, the car stops, you've disrupted time. And like the more that you do, you're disrupting what was supposed to happen. So everything's going to change. There's the erased timeline theory. The things that the traveler does in the past could possibly erase them from existence. Again, Back to the Future, spoiler alerts. When Marty goes back and he starts almost dating his mother, you know, in the picture, his isn't it his brother and sister that are like slowly disappearing?
Slowly disappearing, yeah. So
what he does is erasing his timeline, which will erase him. Doesn't he start to fade at the end?
Yeah, Johnny Be Good.
And yeah, when he's singing that hit,
Johnny Be Good.
it's a freaking hit. Temporal merging is another theory. This would be two timelines combining. It's like saying a traveler goes back into time to see himself 5 years earlier. If they touch, they might end up merging their timelines and history together. Even though they may be different timelines, maybe different multiverses.
I've always wondered, what would happen? Does it erase all?
You would merge. Like, I don't
Your
know.
present
I mean,
self.
that's what's so...
So I bet you it's either your present self combines with your past self and you're one and you continue living that life, or your past self combines with your
I
present
wonder if
self
you
and
would...
you continue living that life.
I wonder if that's happened and we don't know, like we've merged with another universe already, and we don't know because it's just like, oh yeah, everything's cool because our timeline...
I think everything I've seen on like movies and TV is like, don't look at yourself because you'll end up like wiping
We're the
yourself out.
nosiest generation plus world there is. If I saw somebody walking down the road that looked like me, I'd be like, say bitch.
Hold up.
Holla.
Where'd you come from?
I know what you like, and we're going to go together and hang out.
Wouldn't that be cool though if your like future self could come and hang out with you and you'd be like best buds?
I swear
I would be
one
best friends with
time-
myself.
Right.
Absolutely.
That would
One
be an
time, my
asshole.
dad, I had left my dad. He was at my grandmother's house, and I swear, I was driving down the highway. I looked over to my left, and I see this guy exactly like my dad. And I was like, wait, excuse me?
You're
And I
freaking
was
me
like,
out.
so for some reason, ever since then, I have felt that everyone has a twin in
A
life.
doppelganger.
Yes.
Everyone has
A
someone that
twin.
looks like someone.
And I've had
I'm
so
yours
many
one
people come to me before, and they're like, so-and-so looks just like you. I know, I have seen you, and so-and-so looks
I've
just
heard
like
that
you.
before.
So it's
I
like
have a familiar face, I think. That's what I always threw it off as. I'm a familiar face.
familiar face, because no one is as cool as me.
I'm familiar.
That's just how it is.
Where'd you find mine at?
Huh?
Where'd you find mine at?
On MySpace a long time ago when we used to book shows, I was adding people and I was trying to promote and post flyers on people's pages, and I added this dude from Oklahoma that looked fucking exact. No. Yeah. He looked exactly like you. And I thought it was you, and I had to double take at
You
it.
went to Oklahoma?
Our friend Ty, he has a doppelganger working right here in, should I say where we're at? Denton, Texas, because I guess someone's going to come for us.
We don't want the government
yeah.
finding us. I'm going to beep that out.
It was not me who made the Michael Jackson joke, it was Tina.
Cover it up with your voice and be like, California.
Okay, but
Please
he
do
has
that.
a
Here in
doppelganger working here at Outback Steakhouse
Alaska.
that looks exactly like him to a T. And every time I see him, I'm like, Jesus, that
It's
looks
okay.
just like
He
Ty.
also looks like, huh?
Chris Pratt.
Everybody says he looks like Chris Pratt.
I get it all the time.
Oh yeah.
at
You,
work.
the guy
Seems
from
like
Guardians of the
Christian.
Galaxy.
Yeah.
Evan does not look like
Yes, he does.
Michael Jackson. I'll edit that in there for you.
Michael Jackson.
No, I think Ty's a time traveler. He looks just like
just
the
like-
actor in
yes.
the original Frankenstein movies. It could be a relative of his, or it could be him in the
That's
time
funny.
travel.
And then that guy at the Outback, he looks just like him. Only he has gauges, and that's the only thing that's different.
Huh.
Which I could see Ty in a different world having gauges.
I don't see it.
There's the choice timeline. This theory is that the second someone decides to travel back in time, their future is completely changed. The second that they leave their time and go back, everything in the future is different.
Ooh, so that's a really, you gotta really think about if you want to do that or not.
Yeah, even if it's 10 minutes, think of how different. I mean, I guess 10 minutes.
What if you had children?
2
What
days.
was that called?
Choice timeline.
Hmm.
I don't know why. I don't know why the names are what they are. But
Who chose these?
someone that went back in time and was like, "Hey, this was the choice.
This what
It's real.
happened.
This was the choice timeline."
This was the choice.
There's the self-fulfilling prophecy, which is kind of like that first one that I hardly could pronounce. The traveler was always meant to travel and do whatever happens to cause the correct path for the future to happen. Again, that's like 12 Monkeys. Like, in 12 Monkeys, spoiler alert, Bruce Willis time travels back from the future, which is all effed up, to try to stop the virus that is unleashed called the 12 Monkeys, which he is the reason that the virus gets released. So there's that paradox of a continuous loop of him causing the virus to be spread. So those are some of the theories on time travel. Do you think time travel is possible with these kind of theories? And which would you believe is the most plausible? Tina?
I like the multiple universes.
You like the multiple universes?
I do.
I think you just like the idea that there's, like you said, a 3-year-old version of yourself making bologna sandwiches.
Exactly.
Evan,
Yes.
what do you believe about time travel?
That was I'm not gonna lie, that was a lot to take in that you just said. There's a lot of different ways than just regular old time travel. Just like, boop, I'm gonna hop in this and go back to Washington.
That's Washington?
What?
What do you mean go back to
Do
Washington?
that right now.
I just picked the time.
That's not a time. That's a place. You picked a place that exists right now.
I picked a man.
What? He's doing. I picked a man.
What?
I'm gonna go to Washington. The man.
I was thinking of our presidents.
He just said George Washington.
George Washington.
Who is George Washington?
Yeah,
This isn't Jeopardy.
who is George Washington? So anyways,
I went to the hallway to relieve myself, and I came back to the Washington thing, and I couldn't handle it no more.
I don't even remember what I was going to ask you. You threw me so far off.
I'm going to Washington, guys. See you later.
I wish someone could have taken a picture of you though, because you were just taking one of those little cleanly coughs, and you were wiping down your glasses, and you were like, Washington.
You can't just hop in and just go to Washington. Yeah, it's called a car or a plane. You
I
can.
already screwed off and had to walk off, and here I was waiting on you to bounce back for me and Tina, and you're like, yes, Washington.
okay.
It was so
Ugh.
made in the dining room with the candlestick.
I'm so hot.
And you pop off with Jeopardy. Who is George Washington?
George Washington.
What did I even ask you now?
I don't know.
I'm so thrown off my game now. Jeez Louise.
I think I believe in some sort of time travel.
It was your power.
Wait, what? That's what you came up with? Seriously, as you could possibly say it. I think I believe in some sort of time travel. You get as close as you can to the mic and I believe in some sort.
Next.
I believe in going to Washington.
Oh my god.
This has no effect on me anymore. I've laughed it all out.
Toby, what do you believe in?
I need to compose myself after this.
I don't know, but right.
So much editing for Toby.
I'm sorry.
So, I can't believe in time travel because there is too many different possibilities. Like, either it's going to erase a future, or it's going to erase a past, it's going to destroy a future, it's going to cause a new timeline. And I mean, if it's happened, it's already happened. You know, like I feel like if it were possible, we'd have to be in a continuous loop of it, and it has to happen. Like Joe Blow from the future has to come back to try to assassinate a president or something, and it has to happen. And that's just the continuous loop of it. It won't happen though, because he would have never made it to his timeline or to his point in time to come back. Mm-hmm. But in that same, he would have to know that, oh, someone tried to assassinate the president on this day. So when he travels back in time, it would have to click with him like, oh, I read about this. Someone tried to, so like he would have to know about his trip to the past. Mm-hmm. So that's, I don't know.
There's too many variables.
So if his trip gets screwed up and he goes as Blow or as Joe Blow, he comes back as Blow Joe, and it's gonna be really hard for him to live up to that name in Washington.
Going to Washington.
It was a man.
Do you want me to tell you one of the stories that I found on time travel? One of the earliest stories?
Yes.
Okay. One of the earliest stories is an old Hinduism mythology story. The story goes a ruler by the name of Kakadu. I can't read these names.
I spat in my hand.
That's a porn star name.
Kakadu. Kakun.
Anyways, we'll call him...
Kakudum.
We're going to call him Kay, okay? Kay had a very beautiful daughter who was coming of age to marry. Kay didn't believe that anyone on earth deserved her. So he and his daughter went to a place called Brahma Ayoka. This is a plane of existence where the creator of humans, Brahma, lives. The creator is named Brahma. Apparently, Kay could visit this place and speak with Brahma at any time he wanted. When they got to Brahma, they noticed that he was listening to a musical performance. Kay decided to wait until the performance was over before disturbing Brahma. When Brahma was done, Kay gave Brahma a list of candidates that he thought may be suitable for his daughter. Brahma just laughed at Kay and then tried to explain that time runs differently on the plane that they were on. He told him that in the time that Kay waited for the musical performance to be over, the men on his list had died. Their sons had died, their grandsons had died, and even some further descendants had died. Brahma then tells Kay that his friends, ministers, servants, wives, armies, and everyone else he knows has gone. Brahma did make a suggestion for Kay's daughter, and then they left. It only seemed like a short time period had passed since Kay and his daughter made the trip, but all the land and culture had changed. Some other stories of early time travel happen in the Islamic Quran. The story goes that several people went to sleep in a cave and woke up 309 years later. It also states that one day for God, Allah to them, is 1,000 years of what us humans count. This is also the somewhat same belief as the Christian New Testament, where Peter says, with the Lord, a day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is like a day. So, like, time travel's real big in even religion. You know, like, in different types of religion. Mm-hmm. So this isn't like something that we came up with in science fiction. Like, this is a somewhat religious belief. So, I mean...
The only thing that I thought about on the way up here to this podcast, the only thing that I really, truly thought about was...
In Nevada.
Yeah. Colorado.
New Hampshire. You want to say this somewhere? Go ahead.
Tennessee.
Alaska.
Washington.
New Jersey. Okay, go ahead. We've confused everyone enough.
Just so, okay, if time travel is such a big deal and it can happen, the very first sighting of a guy time traveling was the guy who was standing in the crowd who had different clothes on, different wear, different camera, everything. You'd have to look it up. You can look it up on the internet easily. And
yeah, there's a bunch of different weird things. There's the lady on the cell phone.
It goes back to like 1920, 1930s, where a lady is actually traveling and she is walking down a boulevard and she has her hand up to her ear. There's one where it says that it could be possibly a hearing aid equip, but it's the second lady is actually not. She is actually has no wires or anything attached to her, and she is talking, smiling, and you can kind of see the phone.
Well, you got to explain that these are in movies. Like, it's on a movie set, and
not only one of them's on a movie set. The other one's not. The other one just happens to be that she was traveling through, like, downtown, and it was the time where they had like a rollback film footage kind of thing.
For a movie.
Not for a movie. They're not both in a movie. There's two different women. One woman's walking, and she has something attached to her head, and she is during a movie. The other lady is just sightseeing, and she has a phone to her, and she is doing it. But the guy, they say that it's like that. So you're telling me that by the time, my only point behind all this, I don't care if they were time traveling or not, my only point behind it is, you're telling me from 1920 to 2015, if time traveling was possible, that we would not know more about it. There would not be a big spillover about it to where we would know how it was done, who did it, where it was. If someone can do it in 1940s, 1920s, you're telling me in 2015, I'm sorry, but as much of a loudmouth country that we are, nosy, want to know everything, want to figure out everything, want to put everything out on the table, that no one has come out and said anything about time travel.
Maybe they're not from our time, though. Maybe
it hasn't happened
maybe
yet.
They're from like 3022.
You're telling me, well, but we're seeing pictures on the internet now.
Well, yeah,
have you seen those pictures?
Yeah, maybe they traveled back into like
1920. Yeah,
1920.
And we just happen to see it in between times in 2015?
Yeah, because we have so much technology now that, I mean, people digitally scan pictures, post them to the internet.
Why wouldn't people do it more often, though?
Why wouldn't future...
Maybe it's only like a set of 10 people that can do it.
Those people who are time traveling, who say they didn't have kids, who say that they didn't have a family, that they told about that stuff, that also researched those kind of things, that also was like, hey, in our time now... was able to go back and be like, I know how to time travel. Who the hell's going to keep that secretive? Who the hell has enough manpower to be like, this is a huge secret?
I'm sure there's plenty of people that have claimed that they've traveled through time. There's lots of people that say crazy things like...
They sell crazy things on the internet to time travel. Have y'all seen any of that?
No.
Oh my gosh. It's like you have to hold on to these bars and they stick these electrodes to you and you have to hold a crystal... And you sit there for like 5 minutes and you have to concentrate really hard. And like nothing ever happens. And yeah, they sell crazy things on the internet. It's like $500 too.
Even if someone was to time travel all the way back to the very beginning of their lives, or say I'm 80 years old, I travel back to when I'm 20. Who's to say that 20-year-old person that they travel back to, that person who they travel back to has to remember when they're 40. Has to remember in between times, all the way back then, if they encounter themselves. If they encounter themselves. But, if they don't encounter themselves, then it's fine, they go on to live their lives. But, these people who
would you intentionally go back to see yourself?
Well, hell yes, I would.
Well, not everyone would. I wouldn't want to go see myself. Like, if I go back to when I'm 3, why would I want to go see 3-year-old Toby?
Who's to say, though, that you, Okay, you figure out time traveling today.
Okay.
You think that you're going to live your whole entire life not telling anybody about it.
That's in the future, though.
Hold on. Not telling anybody about it, not telling anybody how you did it or anything, and you let it die off with you. Or are you going to tell somebody? That way they know, and then that person tells somebody. It's a telephone effect.
Maybe
Somebody's gonna
if
tell
they
somebody.
time travel,
So
they have to stay there.
Yeah, what if it's just a one way and like you have to die in that past? Or just like some of the theories, when you
So you
travel
have to
back,
live next door to your person.
you don't have. You can. I can. 3-year-old me can be in Texas, Nevada,
But that's when the
or
butterfly effect
and
comes.
20-some-odd-year-old me can be like, well, I know where 3-year-old me lives. I'm gonna go live in
Alaska.
Right,
I
but
don't know why we said it like
that's the butterfly effect, though. Because even though y'all are living in the same time zones, y'all each do different things. That would cause a catastrophe.
No, what if that's what was meant?
It'd be down.
That's one of the theories. What if that's meant to happen? What if that's always supposed to have been my timeline is supposed to be I go missing when I'm 25 and I go back and live in 25 years ago. What if that's always what my timeline was supposed to be, and that I've created this constant loop that I can't ever get out of? Because some theories say that if you travel back in time, you destroy your timeline.
Right, but wouldn't you know that? Wouldn't you know if you...
No, you wouldn't know that because you're not talking to 3-year-old me. You're not like... I mean, I guess I could go up to 3-year-old me and be like, listen, 3-year-old Toby, don't travel in time when wait till I'm old enough to understand. Say, hey, you're going to be able to figure out how to time... How do I know that we're not going to get a knock at this door right now saying, Toby, I made a mistake. I time traveled back into my time, and now I'm stuck here because there's no way forward. Like, it hasn't happened yet, so that doesn't mean that it won't happen.
Now because publicity stunts are outrageous, and somebody would tell somebody. But my only thing is, though, is that if time travel was possible, it would have leaked by now. Government-wise,
no,
human-wise,
we haven't figured out if UFOs are real, if the moon landing was real, who shot JFK.
Then how are we doing these podcasts? How are we doing podcasts over conspiracy theories of HARP? How are we doing podcast theories over conspiracy theories of number? But someone had to start somewhere. Someone had to say, hey, there are number stations that are doing spy stations. There is a thing out there spinning that is causing weather changes. There is somebody out there doing all these. Someone had to start this. They had to see it. Whether it be a psycho, a weirdo person, but someone had to have seen evidence, true little splices of evidence, to be able to say, hey, this is happening. And then people like us are doing conspiracy theories over it. Someone out there has had to seen a little splice of time travel to be like, yes, it exists. Yes, the HARP exists. Yes, number stations exist. Yes, FEMA exists. This is what happens. Aliens exist.
You mean the FEMA death camps?
Well, the FEMA death camps. But yes, aliens exist. Vampires exist. Who in the world ever started that to where they can make movies about it?
Okay, but
it's
just like an imagination. Okay, it's just like coming up with Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse didn't exist, but someone came up with the idea for Mickey Mouse. That's what I'm saying. Like, yes, the ideas and theories come from an imagination. That's why people believe in time travel. It's in the Bible. They've read in the Bible that time travel is possible. So, or not the Bible, but in certain religion, it's just a theory.
And maybe that's why we have different religions,
I'm a time
books.
traveler.
Well, maybe that's why we have... But that's why we have different religions, different books on religions, is because of time travelers.
Evan's a time traveler.
They come forward, they come back, they change it, they go.
Right.
Come forward, come back, change it,
That's
go.
why there's so many different theories on what happens if you travel in time.
Saturday. Well,
would y'all travel in time to visit yourselves or for other reasons? Like me, I would go to like experience the past. Like I'd go to the 20s, I'd go to the 30s. I'd want to...
I would. I believe I'm built in a different time zone.
Uh-huh.
I think I belong in the 50s or the 60s.
Yep. I love it. Maybe not the 60s. Maybe the 50s. I love, like, diners and old school. I like Leave It to Beaver. Look, give me that.
My thing that I showed... the thing that he saw... What did you see in the back that you said was trash today? It was a flour sifter. It was a spoon holder.
You called her stuff trash?
Yes. It was stuff that me and you, people who appreciate the 50s. I showed him a picture of my kitchen. I said, this is why you will understand everything that is pictures, that is stuff that is from vintage 50s, 60s.
Love it. Poodle skirts, give them.
Yes.
Give
Aprons. Beautiful aprons.
I don't know if I'd travel that far back because
Flappers. I would love to be a flapper.
think of how stinky it
flapper?
is.
But it's not that sneaky, though.
Stinky?
Modern day deodorant isn't around.
I'm cool with BO. I love my own
Women
scent.
aren't shaving their
Ooh,
legs.
less work for me.
Yeah, it just seems. I kind of like where I'm at now. I mean, I might go 20
Seems
minutes
a
in the
little
past and correct some mistakes that I make, but
So fast.
20 minutes. Like if I get mad and
Take back a statement.
yeah, I'll take back a statement. Exactly. See, he knows where I was at. Like, I wish I
You
just.
don't.
I
so
wish
that
I had a
doesn't mean
mini.
you're in the past.
I wish I had a mini time travel device.
You know what I would do? If there was no like butterfly effect, I would go back to the Louisiana Purchase. I would claim a crap ton of land and I would give it all to my family. I would keep that. I would own all of like California and Oregon and I'd be like, "Oh, this is Tinaville." And then like
here comes Christopher Columbus, and I'm sitting on the island. He comes in there, and I can walk in the woods like, whoop, whoop, bitch is claimed.
bye. I have like
See, that's-
have like an AR and be like, "I don't think so. I don't think so."
Or
Though.
whenever we start eating turkey dinner, be like, no, bitch, it's chicken, and we're eating broccoli, and we're not doing this.
It's just like the Back to the Future thing when he gives himself the
all the pizza.
no what.
What? I was like, I missed that.
Yeah, is that deleted scenes?
That's
That's see, she's a time traveler, and there was a different version in her
No,
time.
we all saw the pizza. Excuse
Marty
me.
McFly gave
We
her pizza.
always saw the pizza where he's going into his future home and his dad is making a pizza. He sticks this tiny little 1 inch by 1 inch
I
pizza
thought
in
it was
there
something
and it goes
different.
boom, and it turns out to be like a big DiGiorno pizza, and you're like, yeah, bitch, that's what I want to live every day of my life. Stick a little tiny little dime in there and poof.
Well,
Give
no.
me that.
What happens is, I think his name's Biff. Biff gets the almanac or something. He gets some kind of like baseball numbers. Like he gets like the
Yeah.
baseball thing,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it tells all the
Bets.
scores for the next like 15 years. So
Mm-hmm.
he bets on all the games, and he becomes super rich and famous. So, but it's like a very messed up future where. Isn't it like stormy and
Yeah, something crazy.
why is it stormy
Well,
and
it's not,
dark?
It's not so story. It's just,
You
it's just dark because
won.
everybody's so. They're nasty, they trash, they torment, and the only people, everybody else is trash on that earth except for Biff, who is rich and owns
I've
a
got your money.
casino.
Quit betting.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's what you're trying to be. You're trying to be Biff.
Yeah, I'm gonna go biff all of the land in the U.S. Biff the U.S. and Canada. That's what I'm calling it.
This is the United States of tuna.
Welcome. Would kick everybody out. Everybody's sweating their asses off in Mexico. That'd be fantastic. I would. But for some reason, every time I hear time travel, I'm like, Louisiana Purchase. I would biff it all.
So, like I asked, is time travel real? Kristen?
I believe so.
Evan?
I'm just gonna keep it simple and say yes.
You're not going to try to throw another Washington at
I'm not
us?
gonna throw out
No.
Washingtons or any of that shit. I'm just gonna say yes.
I don't know if it's real. I hope it's real, but I don't know.
I'm going to say no because I
Oh,
feel...
wait. I would probably say no then. I'm sorry.
After all that arguing you did with me, you were yelling at me and now you're
I
saying
went against all
no?
my theories. I said if it was real, then someone else would know now, and then there would be a blabbermouth and tell everybody. So no, I don't think that's
I just
that
think
real.
that if time travel was possible, there would be a solid government that governed the earth. Because we would know how the outcome of wars were, and when anything got messed up, they would just go back and be like, hey, that plan sucked. Let's go to this plan because I think this will be more successful because the armies are going to be here, here, and there.
But what if that one theory was true and they're not able to change the past?
You can't affect the timeline, you just...
Yeah, maybe that's the case. Maybe you can go back and visit, but you can't do anything about it.
And you were always supposed to go there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I mean, I'll accept that. That you're just part of that timeline. You are a part of the timeline.
Yep.
I feel like it's real, but
Watch me.
maybe not like perfect. Like we can go back and forth, and I think maybe the government's working on it, and I just think it has to do with the government.
You think it's just a one-way ticket, though, not back and forth?
Yeah, maybe not back and forth. Maybe not as.
I think back and forth is the worst. I don't think that would be possible because if you go back in time, unless you were supposed to go back, it is confusing because back and forth would only be possible if you were supposed to go back in time to try to correct something. But then if you corrected whatever was messed up, then that means the timeline in the future. Time travel. I wish we could time travel and not do this episode.
Fucking time travel.
What if it's so simple? What if it's like you can go back and forth, you can change things, it doesn't mess anything up. That just is what it is. You fixed it, boom, and then you went back and you went home. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, but then you come home to a new future.
Yeah, but what if it doesn't affect anything? What if it's like...
Well, there are those theories that you just go to a different timeline. Like, you're on timeline A, you go back to timeline B to fix the past, but then when you go back and forward, you go back to timeline A, and everything's still how it was.
So there's no real premise. I mean, I guess if you're only looking out for yourself, there's no reason.
But you would correct things for timeline B.
Yeah.
So, like...
You could go and end the Holocaust.
Timeline B for you would be great, because you'd be like, oh, well, timeline A came over here and helped me, and...
I fixed it.
Everything's good now. No wars.
Awesome.
This was fun.
Time travel sucks.
Time travel.
Well, do you guys want to say goodbye? We'll wrap this one up.
See ya.
That's a lot of editing.
That's a lot of editing.
Good luck.
Thank you. Okay, so stick around for a Kids Explain Everything.
Kids Explain Everything.
What's your name?
Gibson Gage Morgan.
How old are you, Gibson Gage Morgan? That's not an age. How old are you?
5.
I don't like you at all.
You are a fool.
I'm not a fool. Okay, be serious for a second, okay? I need to ask you about something. Okay? Who is Frankenstein?
He's a long-haired guy.
He's the long-haired guy? I think he's only long-haired in that movie that we watched.
Yeah.
The Frankenstein versus the Mummy.
Yeah. I'm gonna eat this.
See, I don't think he knows enough about Frankenstein either. What does Frankenstein do? He walks with his hands out?
Yeah.
Why does he walk with his hands out?
Because freaking die.
Yeah, but why does Frankenstein do that?
Because creepy and scary.
He's creepy and scary, and that's just how they walk?
Yes.
I didn't know you were an opera star.
I don't care you say.
So tell me more about Frankenstein. How was Frankenstein made?
Dr. freaking die.
You think you're a comedian, don't you?
It made the Dr. freaking die.
Dr. Frankenstein made him? Okay. How did he make him?
There was power in him.
He put power in him?
Yes.
With the electricity?
Yes.
So is Frankenstein mean or is he nice?
I'm being nice.
So he's nice? Then why are people afraid of him?
Because I'm trying to be nice.
He's trying to be nice? Do people think that he's trying to be mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't think of any other questions.
I don't care what you say.
Okay. Well, we're gonna wrap this one up, okay?
Fine.
Say goodbye.
No.
Yeah, no, say goodbye.
No.
Say goodbye.
Why? That's all?
For this one. Just say goodbye.
Why are we...
Sing it. Go, goodbye. No, say it.
Goodbye. Kids are playing every day.
Thank you for listening to our show. If you have any questions about anything, please send us an email at secrettransmission@hotmail.com. Or you can follow us on Twitter and find out when we post our new shows at secrettranspod. That's at secrettransPod. Don't forget, all of our episodes are also available on YouTube. Just search for Secret Transmission Podcast and subscribe. Or you can just listen to us on SoundCloud. Please come back and listen to us try to explain the unexplainable.
Ready to say goodbye, Roger.
Hello, my name is Toby. Who am I talking to today? Mr.
Frankenstein.
Mr. Frankenstein. How old are you, Mr. Frankenstein?
I'm not that freaking dying and I freaking dying.
Oh, okay. Well, how old are you, Frankenstein?
5.
You're 5. You're pretty young, aren't you?
Yeah.
I guess Dr. Frankenstein made you only 5 years ago? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So, Mr. Frankenstein, what do you like to do for fun?
A lot of people trying and think I trying to be nice at that.
Oh, people think that you're trying to be nice? Well, that's good. You are kind of nice right now. I mean, you haven't, tried to strangle me. You are kind of ugly, but you've been nice so far. So what do you like to eat, Mr. Frankenstein?
I don't eat nothing.
You don't like food? Oh. Well, what's your favorite song, Frankenstein?
I just got a creepy song.
You like creepy songs? Oh, what's your favorite creepy song then?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. So, Mr. Frankenstein, what are you going to be for Halloween?
Just freaking thing.
You're going to be yourself? That's what I would do. I mean, you already look like Frankenstein. You might as well be Frankenstein, right? Yeah. Have you had any battles with Dracula or any mummies lately?
Well, I just really fight a mummy.
You fought the mummy?
Yeah.
Okay. How was that? Did you win or did he win?
I really win, but I come at wrestling.
Oh, you're a wrestler now? Oh, very cool. Okay.
But I kind of bad guy.
Oh, you're a bad guy wrestler, but you're really nice. Yeah. Okay. Well, it was nice talking to you, Mr. Frankenstein. Would you like to say anything else?
Really, no.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for being on the show, and goodbye. Take care. Okay. Bye.